Hello, I'm Amy E. on the Cutting Edge Hair Show, and today we are in Baltimore, Maryland, and we're going to talk to John Simpson, the North America Hair Colorist of the Year. So let's go see what we can do with my hair. These are all my new friends I just met. This is Susie, this is Rebecca. I think he's mixing colours somewhere. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm excited about getting my hair done.
I know, I can't wait. I want to tell a story in your hair, because you know I love to tell a color story, about really high reflective tones, maybe working into shades of oyster, shades of red pearl, and shades of pistachio, and how they all can tell a really genius new spin into taking blonde decolorized pieces and maybe adding subtle nuances.
Exciting. So let's get started, shall we? Shall I get a smock on?
Of course, let's do it.
All right, we'll see you in a minute. Snip, snip.
Well, let's look at the color palette with this, because we talked about you have a heavy color journey that you've gone through, and that's great. But I think the color palette, your background is going to be a very bit of a soft, cool tone brunette, right? Still beautiful, reflective. Also, I was mentioning the red pearls. Red pearls, very beautiful. It has soft iridescent shading between very beautiful pinks and yellows and heavy dilutions with a high clear. Then we have oyster. Oyster is seeing all the great nuances of the soft lavenders, the soft blues, the soft pinks, which I think would be very beautiful. And then a cool tone matte into a light meets dark story of a beautiful pistachio.
It's like dirt, grass, and flower petals.
Landscapes.
Yes.
What we're going to do is I'm going to take some of this existing light, and beforehand we've just gone through, since this is a Goldwell product called Illumine, we've gone through and done a preparation balance on everything from scalp to end, just so all of my decolorized light bits, I'm going to use those as a cascades. These shades I think are going to be brilliant along your eyes as well, because I want to play that up. Taking from recession, I'm just going to take a diagonal patterning, a little more of a triangular bit that's going to tie the color story from high to low. Also, coming into the opposite side, same thing from the crown pivot, I'm going to drop a bit asymmetric right below the low recession into the temporal. So before we do the detail work, I'm going to just start with a little bit of background. How's that sound?
Great.
Super.
So how did you get this whole story, the hair is a story concept from?
Well, you know, I think it's funny, and I think as stylist and colorist, we tell stories all day long. We listen to stories all day long.
So true.
It is, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Instead of just even speaking, this is a shade of brunette, this is a shade of blonde, how can we make it more interesting and make it a personal story? Because everyone has one, so make it their own color story. I like to talk, of course, of always characters, but it's always just tones, right? Maybe it's just a lookbook. And instead of necessarily meeting new personalities, with yours in particular, is more of a story of texture. So I want it to be a very beautiful picture book that I'm looking at a hillside that has very radiant sparkle coming from the background.